Now, you might have heard it said that you should enjoy the present, that you should live in the present, that you should be happy with what you have, be happy with who your friends are, that they are the way they are, who your colleagues are, who your spouse is, and even though you might want material possessions that you don't have, that you should be happy with the ones that you do have because others don't have them and others want what you have, but you already have it. And that there will be always something that you're going to want, but that you can be happy and content with the things that you do have. And you might find it difficult to actually do that because while at some point they were new and shiny, and I'm not just talking about material things here, in fact, I'm least talking about them, but relationships can be shiny and new, right? A job might be shiny and new, an environment, or simply having been sick for a little bit and now feeling better. Feels great. But why can't we feel like that all the time? Why is that? Is there something wrong with us, or is it just not possible? What did the ancients think? What did philosophers think in ancient Greece? And did they come up with a solution for this? Well, first of all, this phenomena of wanting something and then achieving it or getting it, being given it, but then getting used to it and not being able to find the same joy in it that we did when we first achieved it or received it. And this is what you sometimes might hear referred to as hedonistic adaptation. What this means is it's essentially, in our evolution, it would have been very counterproductive for us to always be excited, always be just as excited about this one thing forever, just like we are when we first achieve it. And it works exactly the same way with things that we don't want happen to us. Imagine when you break something important, little object maybe that was left to you from some family member or some friend, and you break it and it's irreplaceable and it's gone. Well, imagine feeling like you do in the very moment that you break it for the rest of your life. We would not be able to do anything else. We would be done. I mean, so nature gave us a way to deal with that. We get used to our new conditions, our new way of being. What has happened, the shock goes away, and more or less, at least in some natural capacity, we accept it and we, like I said, at least partially get over it. But again, there's a flip side to that. Everything that we perceive as pleasurable and good, and everything that we want more of, or that we want to stay the same, we also that fades and goes away. What do the ancients tell us? What do the philosophers tell us that we can do? You might have heard the term negative visualization, in which you imagine things that are more or less likely to happen to you that you perceive now as dreadful and as something bad and something that you never want to happen. But by the act of thinking about it, you prepare yourself and you go through the steps and you often realize that it wouldn't even be so bad. But by the very act of imagining that, Epictetus gives the example of your cup breaks. Now imagine that. And if you truly give some thought to it, it will almost be like it really broke, but you look at it and actually it hasn't broken. It's in one piece still. So now you're happier again. You are more appreciative of the cup. You can feel some of that joy. So on one hand, you've prepared yourself for the possibility that it can break. And of course, nothing lasts forever. It will break. At the same time, you've regained some of that joy simply with an exercise within your mind, nothing external. And this is exactly the power that our mind has. And this is exactly the power that philosophy lets us access. Epictetus says, when you kiss your child, have the thought in mind that you are kissing a mortal. It is because we never think about these things that we're not ready for them. And it is also because we never think about these things that we don't appreciate them while we have them. That you might not be able to do all these things that you're doing right now. If you exercise these actions and these relationships in this way, you will be much happier and you will feel so much luckier to have these things, because they are not granted to you by having them be immortal or having them lasting forever. That's not their nature. Your nature is not like that. Once you think about yourself that way, once you realize that, anything you do becomes more enjoyable, more special. And that's one of the keys to mindful living, to examined living, to thoughtful living, and to a fuller life. And this is what we say when we mean everything good or bad is within you. How you access it is the work that you need to do. And it's very achievable because, again, it's already within you.